Good morning, and thank you for joining us on this week's webinar. And this week's webinar, we have Xero, which I'm very excited and pleased to have join us this time round. Today, we're going to be talking about how to boost your practice productivity and profitability with Xero. So practice accounting firm, or if you're a professional services firm and you're using Xero, there's a lot of benefits that Xero has that you may not be aware of that can help your underlying business. We actually are Xero Platinum partners and we use Xero for most of our clients. And we use it mainly to make sure that we have uniformity in terms of how we service all of our clients, and also to ensure that we have standard processes and we save a lot of time in our process to ensure that we have better productivity as a firm. My name is Rayhan Aleem. I'm the managing partner and founder of Alpha Pro Partners. We're an accounting firm based in Dubai, and we are also Xero Platinum partners. Very pleased to be joined with Sheik and also Chris from Xero. Sheik and Chris, do you guys want to just give us a quick introduction about yourselves and about Xero?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheik, and I'm one of the consultants here at Xero. I've been at Xero for the last 5 years, and prior to joining Xero, I worked in practice for more than 5 years. So I've been using Xero almost on a daily basis for the last 10 years. So you can call me a bit of an expert on the product.
Morning, everyone. Morning, Rayhan. Thanks for the opportunity to come along today. My name's Chris Webster. I'm one of the Xero account managers servicing the EMEA sector, which includes Dubai and the UAE. I've been with the business for just over 4 years now, servicing partners across the EMEA region throughout that time. My role within the business is essentially to work as a partner with our partners. So I offer consulting, strategic support, helping you to understand Xero in the ecosystem and helping you to pick the best products to optimize your unique workflows.
Thank you very much, Chris and Sheik. Just to let you guys know, obviously we're recording this webinar. We'll be sharing it. It'll be available on LinkedIn after the recording, and we'll also share it on YouTube. We will be having Q&A at the end. So please put your questions in the comment section on LinkedIn. And yeah, without further ado, Sheik, floor's yours.
Thank you very much. So again, thank you very much to everyone for joining us for today's webinar. And also, again, thank you very much, Rayhan, for organizing this. So before we jump into talking about the product, it will be very good to actually know a bit of history about Xero. Xero was founded in 2006 in Wellington. And in 2007, we managed to get listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. And as you can see from the graph shown on the screen at the moment, we've had more of a hockey stick growth, very slow in the first 3-4 years, but soon after that, we've grown exponentially. As part of our growth, we've grown from 0 subscribers in 2006, and we're now working towards getting 4 million subscribers worldwide. We have more than 1,000 connected app partners that you can work with, and I think we're slowly approaching 2,000 at this point. And we operate in more than 180 countries in the world. So at Xero, I'm part of a very small team called the EMEA Emerging Markets, and we look after accountants in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. And our team of 5 consists of 3 account managers, myself as a consultant, and we have our boss, Adam. So again, today we'll be talking about how to use Xero to improve your profits and your productivity. To get all the benefits from Xero, the best thing that you can actually do for yourself as an accountant is not to look at Xero as an accounting software, but look at it as a platform. Xero, most people, when they hear the term Xero, they just think of the accounting software, but there's so many parts to us. We have software called HubDoc, which is our document scanning software. We have Xero Work Papers, which is our working paper software. Then we have Xero Practice Manager, which is our practice management software. Alongside all of those, we also have Xero Projects, which is a project management tool, and also have Xero Expenses, which is an expenses management tool. And just recently, we started working alongside Allen Bank to provide something called bank feeds, where transactions that happen in your bank account automatically appear into your Xero accounting software, ready for you to start reconciling and allocating against some invoices or some purchases.
Sorry, so just to step in, if we just go back to the previous slide.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of these apps, obviously Alan is not part of Xero, but they're pretty much free with once you sign up for Xero, right? So I know HubDoc is free. Practice Manager and Work Papers, you have to be at a certain tier, and then it's free for accounting firms, correct?
Yes, that is correct. So HubDoc is included on all our business editions. So we have multiple levels to how Xero operates. So we have a starter, which is for your very simple business, a standard, and then a premium subscription. And the premium allows you to have multi-currency functionality. So those come with a free HubDoc subscription. Xero Practice Manager, which is our practice management tool, has a price. I think Chris will be more familiar with the prices of all of these products than I am. But if you are a Xero partner, there's levels to it as well. So you can be starter partner, a bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Rayan and his firm being one of our platinum partners, which is our top tier partner. So if you're a silver partner, you actually get Xero Practice Manager and Xero Work Papers for free. Yeah. Then Xero projects and Xero expenses do come at a price, and it's per user. So we'll jump into the products and talk about each and every one of those one by one, starting off with HubDoc. So HubDoc is our document scanning software, and best way to use it, or best way to describe it rather, is the software where you can upload all your purchase invoices, and the software itself will extract the supplier name, the date, the description, the amount, and also the VAT from the invoice. So all your bookkeepers, rather than being people who sit down and type up all this information on an invoice, they actually become reviewers of the work that has been done by the software. This definitely can save quite a lot of time. And in the practice that I used to work at, no one was actually allowed to sit down and start typing up invoices. And whenever any one of our clients came in to drop the work, one of the things that the manager partner at the practice made sure was everyone in the office was Xero certified, Xero trained. So even the receptionist at the front desk was Xero certified and could use HubDoc. So whenever any clients came in and dropped off their work, between phone calls, the receptionist was scanning all of these invoices into the software. The very first time that a bookkeeper would actually have to have a look at any invoices that have come through was when they were actually sitting in HubDoc, ready to be uploaded into Xero. And with HubDoc, you can actually automate this process to a point. And being an online tool, and it uses AI and trains itself. So the more invoices that you put in, the more it recognizes what type of expense to allocate it to, and the less work you'll have to do as you go along. So if you think of expenses like telephone bills, which always look the same month on month, the first time that you do it, you show it where to allocate it. The second time, it will actually remember what you did the first time. Then if on the third try that it's picking up all this information correctly, you can use a feature that we call auto publish. And as soon as that invoice comes in, it is automatically published directly into Xero. So you won't even have to jump into HubDoc to see that invoice because it's already in Xero. HubDoc and Xero, as you can see, definitely the two of them integrate. And any invoice that you post through HubDoc, an image of the invoice is also saved in Xero. And you can also use HubDoc and link it to your Dropbox. So as the invoices come in, you also have them saved on HubDoc itself, in Xero, and in Dropbox. You have multiple places where you have backup of a backup as well. So that is a very, very useful bit of HubDoc. Then Practice Manager, that will be the next thing that I quickly touch on, which is the job management tool. Practice Manager allows your employees to record time, how long it took them to do any of the jobs. And for today, it's all about productivity and profitability. And the only way you can view whether you're being productive on any job is by being able to record how long it took you to do the job, and comparing how long it took you last month, or even how long it took a different employee to do the exact same job. Then this is how you can identify which ones of your employees actually need training, or identify any gaps in your internal processes, because you may be undercharging for a job. And the only way that you can fix that is if you start recording how long it takes you to do the job. With Practice Manager as well, it is a job management tool and can be used for planning what's going to happen in the future. So as you can see, some of the example companies that I have on the screen, Apple, BMW, and Ford Motor Companies seem to be running a really successful practice. But for each and every one of those jobs, I know exactly when the job is going to be starting and when it's going to be ending. Practice Manager allows you to create what we call recurring jobs. So as the time approaches for you to start chasing that information, the employee, the partner, and the manager will actually work on the job, will get notifications in their emails to say, it's time for you to start chasing this information from the client. And you can see on Practice Manager as well, it provides you with a small calendar. And this calendar is unique to each and every employee based on the jobs that they are working on. And it can show you the important dates and also what needs to be done and all the deadlines that you have for that particular week. Another one of the tools that we have at Xero is Xero Work Papers. Xero Work Papers does exact working papers. A lot of practices tend to use Excel or Google Sheets for their working papers. But what we notice is because it's sitting on a separate platform, quite a lot of work has to be done for you to import and export. And also, especially if it's on Excel, any updates that are made on the spreadsheets do not automatically feed back into the software itself. However, if you are using Xero Work Papers, because it integrates with Xero, all the figures that you are seeing on this, that you will be going through, whether it's your fixed asset amount or your bank reconciliation, any updates that you do on the work paper, journals can then be automatically posted from Xero Work Papers directly into your Xero software. Xero Work Papers also allows you to do your review points, whether it's review points to the manager or review questions to the manager when an employee is not sure, or to the partner. And there's also the ability to have review points down where the manager, if they're not sure of something, they can ask the employee who's done the job, or even the partner who's who's responsible for the job can also ask the other two any questions on anything. Xero Work Papers also has a portal that we created, which allows you to ask queries to your client. So if ever you're not sure on anything, through this portal, you can ask your clients the questions, and you can choose what type of answer you're looking to get from your employee. And on the screen, you can see I have a client query, and the type of answer that I'm looking for is text. And I'm just asking, was this fixed asset purchase for personal use or was it a business purchase? And other types of answers that you can actually get can be a yes or no. And you can also just ask them to do an attachment where you need evidence for maybe purchase of a fixed asset and you need to see that invoice. If it's missing, then you can always request it through the use of Xero Work Papers. So it is a very handy tool. And another thing that I would love to mention about Xero Work Papers is that it works out your materiality as well. So anything that is immaterial, or it will automatically be checked as already done. But if you need to review it, you can always go back into it. Then lastly, it's Xero itself and viewing it as a platform. So everyone knows what an accounting software will do. You want it to be able to raise an invoice, reconcile your bank, and create statements that you can send out to your client. But those are not the only benefits. Those are the benefits for the business. But with Xero, best way to look at it is look at it as a collaborative tool between you and your client. There are quite a few reports that are exclusive to Xero that most of the other softwares do not have in them. And the best example that I can actually think of is something that Rayanne posted, it must have been a couple of weeks ago, which is the General Ledger Exceptions report. Quite a lot of businesses that use Xero actually never heard of that report, but for me, it is one of the best reports that is in Xero. And what the General Ledger Exceptions report allows you to do is it reports on anything that is out of the ordinary. If you're posting transactions to a particular nominal account and the average amount that's going in is say $200. If there's a transaction that goes in there that is 1,000, it will automatically flag it up as this is an exception. Can you please review this? Other things that it can also throw out is if there's
sorry, Sheik, just to give you a live example. I actually didn't know about the report until I met with you, right?
Yeah.
And we literally implemented it in our review process when we send the accounts out, before we send the accounts out to our clients. And effectively, it meant that our reviewers probably saved around 2 to 3 hours, because literally it goes through all of the transactions. So normally when you're reviewing the P&L and balance sheet, right? And then if you see any discrepancies and on the account code level, you don't always review it unless really material. But what this report does is it means that every single transaction, whether it's got the wrong VAT code or the wrong account code or the wrong amount, it literally flags it up. So you can go into every single transaction, the highlighted transaction, and then query it or get it fixed. Which means that where an audit would take half a day to go through all the transactions, it literally takes half an hour now. And it means that we can now provide reports that have a better quality to our clients than, say, not having enough time to go through every single transaction. And I think that's been a real kind of game changer for us from a internal process point of view. So, thank you.
No, that's all right. You are welcome. And I'll just cite another example. There's a practice that I work really closely with, and they've actually changed their way of working through the general ledger exceptions report, where normally when you're presenting the report back to the partner for review, you'd have the P&L balance sheets or the accounts at the top. They now require you to have the general ledger exceptions report at the top. So as the person doing the job yourself, if you see any exceptions, you're actually going to fix them before you hand it over onto someone else. And the reviewer themselves, when they go and look at this report, first thing is look at the exceptions report. So that's greatly reduced how long it's also taking them to review any of the jobs. Then another thing that I can touch on as well is the fixed assets register. So Xero also provides you with a fixed asset register. And anytime you record a transaction and post to a fixed asset nominal account, Xero will actually create a draft fixed asset for you. So that definitely saves quite a lot of time. And not only does it just keep track of how many assets you have, once the asset is registered, you can run your depreciation at the click of a button. Or depreciation journals, you can run them for the entire year on a month-by-month basis at the click of a button in Xero. And if you have any disposals of any of those fixed assets, Xero will post all of the journals that are required for you as well. I know that was one of the headaches that I used to have when I was in practice, having to post the fixed asset depreciation reversal journals, making sure it's going to the right account, and also knowing exactly how much profit has been made on the fixed asset. But this time around, through the use of Xero, all you need to know is which nominal account do the profits from the fixed asset sale are supposed to be posted to. And once you've determined that, everything else will be posted directly within Xero. Then Xero, as I mentioned, you have to use it as a collaborative tool. Your clients, I've seen a lot of accountants who have their clients creating the invoices on Excel, then sending those invoices to the accountant for the accountant to enter into the software. But Xero, you can invite your clients into Xero directly, and your clients will be able to create invoices directly within the software. Some people do not want to invite their clients because they think they'll mess around with everything else that is in the account. But one of the benefits is that Xero has different levels when it comes to the user settings. So for your clients, if you have a client that like to click around a lot, you can always set them up as an invoice only individual. And as invoice only, all they can do is create invoices, send them, and mark them as paid. And talking of payments, Xero also has something that we call payment services. And payment services allow you to attach a payment software like PayPal onto the invoice that you create. So as you send the invoice directly from Xero to your customer, there will be a pay now button that will also appear on the e-invoice that you send. And as soon as they click pay now, money will be hitting your bank account. A study was carried out.
On that, sorry, just to interrupt. So we use Stripe is available in the UAE. So we connect Xero to Stripe. And the beauty of that is for our recurring billing, we have our invoice sent with Stripe and it has auto pay. So literally on the due date of the invoice, it gets automatically settled. And then from the accounting point of view, it reconciles automatically. So your AR is up to date. So the beauty of the Stripe and the PayPal interaction is not just the payment link, but also the fact your books are up to date as soon as the payment's made. That's also something that really helps with processes, not just for us, but for our clients as well.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's great that you mentioned that live example. And a study was carried out in the UK on the benefits of the Pay Now button. And we were just looking at the debtor days of different businesses. So there was an industry, forgotten which industry it was that we carried a study out on, where the average debtor day was about 60 days. So it's taking about 60 days for people to get paid. For the companies that had the Pay Now, that dropped to about 29, 30 days for them to get paid. So you can literally half your debtor days just by having that Pay Now button. Because what people found was it's all about convenience. If you send an invoice and you have to sit down and do the money transfer through your bank, it's just too long a process. But with the Pay Now button, it's just instant because it's readily available. And these invoices can even be viewed on your mobile phone. With the invoices as well, another thing that Xero can do is you can also automate your debt collection through email directly from within Xero. So if you're not using this Pay Now button, if your client has not paid your invoice, you can set up Xero to automatically send reminders to all of your clients. This can be set up per client because there's certain clients maybe you do not want to bother because your client and you have a certain agreement that, okay, I know this person, they always pay, but it's always 2 or 3 days late. Then you can choose to exclude them. And those can be set to go out every 14, every 28, or whatever number of days that you want to wait until you send the reminder to your client. And some individuals actually send the reminder a day before the invoice is actually due, just to say, oh, hi, your invoice will be due tomorrow. So if you want to pay, there's a Pay Now button at the top of this invoice. So please do pay. So there we were touching on this collaboration piece and the benefits of Xero, but which there is loads of them. And talking about shared value with your client. So when we talk shared value, the reason for this graph, and it's one that's really important to us as a company as well, because we've seen the benefits from discussing with different accounting firms that we talk with. There's on the y-axis where's the SMB value. So the value of Xero for your small business client. Then on the x-axis, we have the value for the accountant. And we've touched on the fixed assets. We've touched on XPM and the reporting, how it's superior in Xero. But one thing that I also want to mention is in Xero, there's a feature called Find and Recode. And this feature is a lifesaver, especially when you have clients that do their own bookkeeping. Good example that I can actually give to you is last year, I was fortunate enough to travel out to Cyprus to visit one of our partners, and it was for a training day. And as soon as I walked into their office, everyone was in a bit of a panic because they had one of their biggest clients who'd messed up their books and everything needed to be corrected within a week. So there were more than 3,000. One of my colleagues gave me the number. I wrote it down. 3,372 transactions that needed to be corrected. And as a practice, what they were doing was everyone was told what needed to be done. And whoever had a few minutes to spare had to jump on correct as many transactions as they could, then just continue with their day-to-day work. And when I walked into their office, they just said, yeah, we can do the training, but we have to fix this first. Otherwise, we have to cancel the training. And I just said, okay, what is the problem? Then they explained everything to me, and I just said, have you heard of find and recode? I said, what is that? So I said, it's a good thing I came today. So find and recode, what it does is it allows you to correct transaction, make amendments to transactions in bulk. And what you're changing is actually the source transaction itself without having to post multiple journals. So for these 300,272 transactions, we spent more time trying to discuss what needed to be done than we did actually correcting them. And all they needed to do was change the nominal account that everything had been posted to, and also the VAT rate that had been used on those transactions. So we used find and recode and started selecting all the transactions that were going to the same nominal and needed the VAT rate changed, and made those changes. And in less than 30 minutes, something that they were thinking would probably take them a week, everything was fixed in less than 30 minutes. And we were able to continue with the training. Did have to stay on in their offices for an extra 30 minutes. But after traveling to Cyprus for a day's training, it's definitely totally worth it. So yeah, that is definitely a massive game changer. If ever you want to know a bit more about that, definitely feel free to add me on LinkedIn or reach out to Chris or Rayan on LinkedIn as well. And we're more than happy to actually talk to you about any of these Xero features that are available to you. So I have one of the partners that I work with, and her name is Aoife Kelly. She runs a practice called Kelly Accountants. They're based in Ireland. They were just before COVID, but she had her people coming to the office, and they were struggling. It was taking them quite a long time to do most of the jobs, and she was struggling to manage the practice. Then we came along, introduced her to Xero, and showed her how she can work from home. It's on the cloud, so anyone can just log in from anywhere. And fortunately, she was able to start doing that before COVID started. And when COVID started, everyone from her office was just working from home, and they were able to continue with their day-to-day work. They actually managed to close down the office because everyone's now working from home, and just continue that way. And when we spoke to her, what she said was, in less than 3 years, we are a different firm because of the way they work with Xero. They had one client that used to take them 3 days to do the management accounts for, but because of the reporting that can be done in Xero, those management accounts production went from 3 days to just over half a day for her to produce all of that, just posting the transactions, HubDoc, automating the bank reconciliation, and so many other things that can be done through Xero. It's dropped quite significantly. So again, to reap all of the benefits from Xero, you have to look at it as a platform with all of these softwares, HubDoc, Practice Manager, Work Papers. And if you use them all together, you can definitely improve on your productivity and profitability as a business. As accountants, I'll just touch on this slide. It will be one of the, I think it's the penultimate one. As accountants, our role is to take different sources of data, all these businesses producing different documents. And what accounting is, taking that information, formatting it in a timely manner, and producing a single output. And that single output is a VAT return, a corporation tax return, or corporation or year-end accounts. All the things that we produce, they're all in the same format. And what Xero can do for you is we have an end-to-end solution that you can actually use to do all of that. So you can use your HubDoc for your document management. We have Swift CSV. Swift CSV is a company that converts bank statements into a CSV format ready for you to import directly into Xero. We have the data migration team. So the data migration team, one of the teams I used to work in before I became a consultant, and they help you with taking information from any software and entering your opening balances into Xero. Then there's Allen Bank, which will automatically feed your bank transactions directly into Xero. Then also your projects and expenses apps that can be used through Xero. Then for processing all of this information, you have Xero itself, the main accounting software. Now you can also use that alongside with Xero work papers and also with Xero report templates, which is part of our reporting tool package, sorry. Then your single consistent output will be your VAT, your year-end accounts, your corporation tax, and your management reports. And to manage all of this, you can then use your Xero Practice Manager and view exactly the status of each and every job, and also be able to invoice your clients at the end of the job. And if you're invoicing on time, you can invoice them for the right amount that you actually spent on the job, rather than just thinking of a number from the top of your head. So yeah, this is how you can use Xero to improve your profitability and your productivity as a practice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheik. That was really well informative. And I actually learned a few new things that I didn't know before. So yeah, no, thank you very much. We're ready for any Q&As if anyone has any. While we wait for a few Q&As, Chris, do you want to just talk about your experience when accountants and accounting firms in terms of using Xero, and what are the common problems and issues they come across that you're able to solve for them?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Sheik, for that detailed run through. I'm conscious of time, and I don't want anybody to be here any longer than they need to, but I would love to just draw a spotlight on a couple of the things that Sheik has mentioned. Time, right? The most precious resource to us all, and no amount of money can buy more time. And once it's spent, it's gone forever. So being efficient with your time is key to running a successful, productive, profitable business. And that's exactly what the Xero ecosystem allows you to do. The problems I deal with on a day-to-day basis, they vary, but they always boil down to time. It's always about something taking too long, something not being profitable, trying to optimize internal workflows, automate internal workflows if possible. And I think what Sheik said earlier is absolutely correct. And that is that you need to see Xero as a business platform. Yes, it's a fantastic accounting and bookkeeping product, but it is so much more than that. Xero and Xero's parallel products and the third-party developers that we have here, some of which Sheik has touched on today, they will allow you to be more productive and better use of your time than you ever would have dreamt possible. And that's what Xero is about. Is about bringing that sort of reality, that dream, to a reality, to help you digitalize, automate, optimize where we cannot automate, both for you internally as an accountant or bookkeeper. But once you understand that digital ecosystem and how it can be applied, that can also be extended to your clients as well. So you can shift into more of an advisory role and actually work in a consultative manner with your clients to help them be more productive and help them be more efficient, help them to automate and optimize their workflows. So once that value has been gained internally, you can start assisting in pushing that value out to your clients. And it's through developing a reputation as being a digitally capable, switched on, optimized practice that you'll be most successful moving forwards.
Thank you for that, Chris. We are running out of time, and I don't think we can take any Q&A at the moment. But what we could do is, if anyone wants to contact you guys directly, what would you say the best way is?
Anybody looking to contact us, send me a quick email, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Myself, Sheik, Marcus, Mikkel, Adam, we're all very active and engaged in LinkedIn. You can find us all there and reach out to us with any specific questions that you have. Or if you're just looking to have a conversation about Xero in general, you discuss some of the pain points that you experience as a business, so that we can talk to you as to how Xero, its parallel products and its wider ecosystem can help you solve them.
Thank you very much. I think we'll end the session now. Like I said, the session is recorded. We will make it available on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And feel free to contact any of us directly if you have any further questions or follow-ups. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much for having us, Rayan.
Thank you. Enjoy your day.
You too.